Hello everyone. Let's go for discussing a question which was asked in UP higher exam for assistant professor. It's very important for your lecturer posts, for your TGT, LT grade, and other exams which are asked for literature students. So you need to understand this, why this concept is important, and why it is important question. So the question is the term objective correlative watch. Let me tell you what T.S. Eliot, a famous writer, a classicist writer, actually used this word, objective correlative, in his essay Hamlet and His Problems. Though it was first coined by Washington Allston and used by T.S. Eliot. You know what actually this stands for? Before we talk about that, let me discuss the book where it was published. It was published in the book. You can find in the second slide, I'm going to just have before you. It was The Sacred Wood Essays on Poetry and Criticism. And the essay is Hamlet and His Problems. So the Sacred Wood, you also need to keep this in mind. The Sacred Wood was actually it was published in the book form in the Sacred Wood. It was included into that book in 1920, though it was published in 1919 only. 1919, and in the essay Hamlet and His Problem. So if we talk about it, we have to keep this in mind that this was by Washington Allston and by T.S. Eliot it was used. You know what actually this stands for? I have written here. You can say T.S. Eliot used this phrase to describe a set of objects, a situation, a chain of events, which shall be the formula of that particular emotion. And on the basis of this, he says that Hamlet was an artistic failure because the intense emotions that Hamlet had overwhelmed the author's attempt to express them through an objective correlative. So he says that William Shakespeare in Hamlet does not find an objective correlative. Objective correlative is the object, is the pictures, is the images, which is the action, events, characters, which actually represent what is going through inside a person's character. He says that whatever Hamlet goes through only comes through his dialogues, plays dialogues. It does not appear, it does not actually come on the stage in the form of accents, in the form of characters, in the form of images. That is missing, and that's why he says it is an artistic failure. He appreciates also William Shakespeare for using an objective correlative that is in Macbeth. When he talks about Lady Macbeth, he says there is use of objective correlative, but when he talks about Hamlet, he says no, objective correlative is missing here, and that's why Hamlet as a play is considered to be an artistic failure by T.S. Eliot. I hope you got the point. So the question which was asked, who coined this? This was coined by Washington Allston, who used this and popularized this. It was T.S. Eliot in his essay Hamlet and His Problems, 1919, and it was republished in the Sacred Wood book that was in 1920 published. And the concept is about finding events, characters, and images which match the emotions which is going on in the person's mind, in the hero's mind, or any other character's mind. And he considers Hamlet to be artistic failure just because he feels that Hamlet is going through is not properly represented in the form of events. Though he actually appreciates Lady Macbeth's character and the play Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Thank you very much for listening to me.